welcome back to the channel, you guys. Welcome back. So I was sitting around the ironclad workshop waiting on some epoxy to dry on the Bulgarian, and I was like, you know what boat I hadn't run in a while that I want to make go fast, right? Like this is 78 mile per hour 24, and I was like, man, what can we do here? What can we do? We hadn't done yet. So I was like, let's pull the OG Blackjack 24 off the shelf and resurrect it. Okay, so I hadn't run it in about 6 months. It's got a carbon fiber inlay. It's got a upgraded motor mount, pretty much all custom inside, and well, the trans are pretty much custom too. CNC servo mount, still running the stock servo. We're gonna leave it in there till it won't kick no more. Servo is about 3 or 4 years old. Not even kidding. I've had it wet. I've dried it out. I've put it, I've put my dielectric grease in it, and she's still holding strong. So we'll see. We'll see. So this is a TP power. It's basically a 3660. 3267 kV, right? And when I built this boat, on a budget, sometimes you gotta put what you can in a boat. So I was like, maybe this Sea King 180 will work. It did. I mean, it would get us in the mid to high 60s, and that's about it. We run small props. It was like an oval, yeah. Anyway, so we took that out, and I decided to put an ESC that will really push the limits of this hull. We got this Castle Creations X8S 3660 3267 TP. Okay, so that's going to be an awesome setup, right? So I want to try to beat my personal best of 78 with this boat. Last time I've attempted a speed run with this boat, it's probably been a season and a half, 2 seasons. So I've gained some knowledge, I've gained some new props. So I'm thinking we'll shatter it. Okay, what do you guys think? So we're gonna take this one out. We're gonna take the mini Zonda out next time, and I want to run my Delta Force 34 Vortex HYDRA again. So these would be the next 3 on the lineup. So I was kind of going through it. I installed the ESC. I'll save you guys that. But I was going through it, and I noticed my driveline. This boat usually has a super smooth driveline. You hear that real loud? It's like a whip. It's not coming from up here. It's not coming from the strut. It's coming from like this area of the sound. It's basically the cable whipping in the stuffing tube. So I'm actually running a cable like this. This is a 0.150 flex cable with a Teflon liner, right? And I think I've actually cut this stuffing tube short when I built it for I was actually going to run this long cable, this long shaft. So I had cut the Teflon short for this longer shaft, but I decided to run a shorter shaft. So I have some unsupported flex cable in my driveline, I think. So let's actually see. So Teflon liners they can actually go bad over time. They can wear out. They can wrinkle. I'll show you what I'm talking about as soon as I get this damn wrench on here. They can wrinkle. See this? In your stuffing tube, you can have a wrinkled Teflon. What happens if it wrinkles? It will create some more resistance on the cable, slow the rotation. It will also burn the Teflon. Well, Teflon won't burn, but it'll scorch it, right? You can get like kinks in it, like this right here. This is a cheap Teflon. It's real cheap. It's like a 4mm Teflon. We have a 0.150 right here, which is much better. It's brand spanking new. I was just making sure it would fit. So this is the cable I'm running. Okay, see how much longer? So basically I have about that much flex cable unsupported in there. Okay, and it would be fine. It would be fine. We could run it, you know, we could run it. But I wanted to fix it on camera with you guys, you know. So Teflon liners can be a bitch to remove, especially if you glue them in. So I made this little pick tool. It's got like a flat, it's like flat, like wide, and it has a little teeny tiny point on it. If you make it real narrow, the little pick end, it may not grab onto the Teflon, or it'll like rip it every time you grab onto it, you know. So you basically use this as a pick, stick it in there, kind of push on the Teflon, and a lot of times it comes right out. If you glued it in, then you may need to heat up the stuffing tube as much as you can, Remember though, heat will like cause epoxy to lose its viscosity, or like it'll loosen the stuffing tube up in the epoxy through hole, so don't get it too hot. Okay, be careful not to burn your boat, you know. But yeah, this pick tool will help with a warmed up stuffing tube. If the pick tool is gonna actually ruin the Teflon. So if you use the pick tool, a lot of times it'll, like, especially if it's stuck in there, when you go to pull it out, it'll like pull slits in it. You can use a drill bit that's like a perfect size. You don't want it too small. Actually, this looks like it's too small, so I would actually need to get the next size up. You would actually want a bit that's barely gonna fit in this Teflon, right? And then you spin it so that it bites, right? Spin it so it bites, and then pull and spin at the same time, and that will pull your Teflon out. Okay, if that doesn't do it, and it's stuck in there, get you one of these, and make you a little end on it, and sharpen the hell out of it. I'm talking about make the point super duper sharp, and make the wire almost as long as your stuffing tube. Make it so that you can get this all the way up into your stuffing tube. And what you're going to want to do, I know it sounds crazy, but if you got to get it out, you got to get it out. Take it, put a lot of pressure on it with that sharp point, and like pull it out. Pull it like this, and try. What you're doing is trying to cut the Teflon, like shred it, right? Shreds. Get it shredded up. Take that pick and shred the Teflon liner. I've had to do it a couple of times with that pick tool, you know, and you'll cut it 2 or 3 pieces, you know, long ways, and then hopefully by then once it's like in those 2 or 3 long shreds, the Teflon cut long ways with this pick tool, you should be able to like really grab onto it and pull it out then. If that makes any sense to you. Sometimes you got to get creative with these boats. Shit just don't come out for you. You got to work on it, and you got to get creative at times, you know. So so we got this new Teflon here, right? It's brand new. I just stuck it in to check for fitment. So I'm just going to cut that end off. Right. So what I'm going to do to glue my Teflon in, okay, I'm going to glue my Teflon in. I don't want it to be permanent, okay? I want to be able to remove this liner because it is a wearable, replaceable part, right? So if I wanted it to be more permanent, I would take like a paper towel and clean the oil and grease out my Driveline. I'm not going to do that. You know, maybe get some alcohol in there and clean it up. I'm not going to clean it up, the oil and grease, because I want to be able to remove this Teflon, okay? And did you guys see how much silicone adhesive I put on there? Not much, okay? I've used a lot of different products over the years for gluing in these Teflon liners, and I found silicone to be good because it is removable, it's replaceable, okay, and it just really, it prevents it from spinning. That's all you really after, is preventing that Teflon from spinning. So what I'm going to do is take my bushing, the Speedmaster bushing, and I'm going to use this to push that that Teflon into place. Okay, so I don't want this to get glued into place, so we're going to actually go ahead and use this bushing as a cleaning brush, so to speak. You know, ream out. I'm going to ream out this silicone back here, you know, with some alcohol. Just kind of clean it up a little bit. Okay, so we don't get that stuck. And I'm going to take and, okay, so I got a little bit of Teflon sticking out the end of my stuffing tube. You know, I think I'm actually, you know what, I was going to leave it so I can make, yeah, let's leave it so we can visually see if the Teflon is spinning with the flex cable. Okay, so if you have a real big gap here, like stuffing tube to collet, like a real big gap, and you have a lot of flex cable showing, it may be a good idea for you to actually leave your Teflon a little bit long. Leave your Teflon sticking out the stuffing tube, kind of like we have here, but leave it longer, you know. It'll help support the cable in that unsupported gap you got there. I could cut this flat flush, but I think I'm going to leave it sticking out so we can visually see if that Teflon is spinning with the cable. Okay, so I'm going to give it about 15 minutes here to kind of harden up, kick off before we spool it up, so we don't prematurely start the spin. So it's actually the following day. Something come up yesterday evening and I couldn't finish the build. It's okay, it's raining today, so gonna grease this bad boy up. I've been using this here lately. Just, I'm not gonna say it's the best grease I've used, but it's pretty good stuff. I don't have any complaints, you know. Lightly grease it up because I'll probably pull it apart again. Got a new Teflon in there. Gonna see how it sounds real quick. It should sound great, to be quite honest with you. It should sound awesome, but you know how that goes. Something could be tweaked or off. I hope not, because we siliconed it in and it's not going to want to come out for a while, you know. Looks like the Teflon settled in the correct place. We got that right. Bushing fully inserted, the cable fully inserted. So I'm going to go ahead and get this little RAKE collet tightened down. This is a short RAKE, 5mm to .150. Not the best collet in the world, but it will work. Should work. So I got a single 4S pack here. It's going to take a second for it to wear in. So you don't hear the cable whip now. Sounds a lot better. Don't sound as smooth as I would like it, being it has a Teflon liner in there. Everything's nice and cool. Okay, it's about as much bench testing as I would like to do all in one shot, you know. Real quick burst, short period of time type deal. So she's pretty much ready to go, right? I do want to change up the timing because I had this on a different motor. I want to change up timing. Let's make sure this motor's lined up right. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Yeah. Okay. I wish I could hook this nipple right here up. Oh, I guess I could. This is really low though, my exit. You see that? Exit, you want it high on the motor. Something like that, you know. But if I spin it a little bit, I could get some extra cooling out of it. Put a nipple here, and I could use this back cooling block. Well, I guess I could actually take this 90-degree nipple off, and I knew somebody would say it in the comments, you know, so might as well say it so you guys don't have to. I could put a regular nipple on, roll my cooling line out like this, and then put a nipple here, take advantage of the cooling block on the motor mount. But if I have my line coming out here, it's really going to be aggravating trying to get my battery in there. You know, that's why I actually went with this motor mount, or this motor cooling jacket, rather than other jackets that I have with the straight nipple. You know, and this is just a mount that I had. One of my subscribers sent it to me, so I took advantage of it, you know. It would be nice to use the nipples, but I just like the way this is set up. You know, it gives me easy access to my batteries, nice and clean. The exit comes right out the bottom. Boom, it works, you know. So while I got you here, let me show you guys my tune. Let me show you my tune real quick, okay? I had tuned this boat up. I took a whole day actually getting this boat tuned in the last time I had it out, and that was the tune I found that worked with this setup and that Hobby Wing 180, running fairly decent sized props in the high 60s. This tune right here worked. Little bit of positive, not much, very little, and the drive is about 4 or 5 millimeters off the ride surface. Now, I used to run a lot of full-size boats. I had a couple boats we had put jack plate on, okay, and looking at the speedometer, running a full-size boat, jacking the motor up at full speed, planed out. You jack the motor up a little bit, and you put a little bit of positive on that bad boy at speed, and you'll see that damn speedometer just keep creeping. It'll just keep creeping. The higher you go with the motor, a little bit more positive you go with the motor, it just kept creeping, right? I had a Stratos with a catamaran bottom. It was a bass boat, right? Bass boat shape with the pointy bow, and it had a catamaran bottom, and that sucker will run mid 70s all day long with a 252 stroke. So and V hulls, the higher you go with them, I mean, there's only so high you can go with a V hull, but man, I tell you what, you get that prop out the water, let that prop spin free, she'll run her damn balls off, you know what I'm saying? So that's the tune I've always liked to run on this little 24. That's her right there, boys. Okay, that little 4mm strut converted to 3/16. I was actually contemplating making me a bracket. I have a piece of angle. I can make a bracket and do away with this block, but I'm just gonna let her eat, you know what I'm saying? So yep, I'm gonna let you guys go. Okay, that's my little 24. Got this stuff into, I got the Driveline. Sounds pretty good, sounded pretty good. It's actually sounded better, but I'm happy with that. So yeah, we're gonna run parallel and series packs. 80 mile an hour, here we come. See you guys next time. If you like the content, subscribe. We do little projects like this. We build full boats. I haven't built a full boat. I'm working on building a full boat, kind of off camera, but yeah, I do, you know, ready to run boats. We build custom. We run boats. We wreck them, we crash them, we fix them. We try to set records, and that's what we do on my channel. You know, if you like the content, subscribe. It helps me out. Hit the notification bell when I get new content. I usually upload daily, 7 a.m. If you want to check out the channel, go to the channel homepage, look at the community. You can post pictures of your boats, ask questions. So check out the community post section on my page. And yep, we'll see you guys next time. I appreciate you watching.